the New Orleans Saints would go marching into Seattle's Lumen Field to take on the Seattle Seahawks. What began as a tightly scheduled trip for the Saints quickly morphed into one of the most one-sided affairs of the early 2025 NFL schedule. The Seahawks overwhelmed the Saints 44-13, a blowout broadcasted in full view of division and league-wide observers, by dominating all three phases: special teams, offense, and defense. For New Orleans, it was a humbling road defeat that exposed fractures across their roster. From the opening play, Seattle applied pressure. New Orleans' first drive stalled, and when the Saints went 3 and out and lined up to punt on their second series, the tide of the game changed in a heartbeat. Rookie Torrey Horton took a punt back 95 yards for a touchdown, the longest punt return score in Seahawks franchise history. Moments later, with the Saints reeling, Seattle's momentum grew. A blocked Saints punt by D'Anthony Bell set up yet another rapid score. By the end of the first quarter, Seattle had built a 21-0 lead. The special teams' breakout plays pushed the Seahawks ahead before the Saints' offense could even find its rhythm. The scoreboard told an early tale of damage control for the visitors. By halftime, Seattle had expanded their lead to 38-6, reflecting not only those momentum-shifting special teams plays, but also a defense that suffocated the Saints' offense and made drive after drive look labored. In the second half, with starters easing off and backups receiving meaningful time, the final 44-13 score locked in for Seattle. While the game was never in doubt, let's go diggin'. Deeper Seahawks totaled 320 yards to the Saints' 284 yards. But the Saints had the ball more, in terms of time of possession, at 32 minutes and 15 seconds. Seattle at 27 minutes and 45 seconds. Saints' Spencer Rattler finished 28 completions on 39 attempts for 218 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Seattle's Sam Darnold went 14 completions for 18 attempts for 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no sacks or turnovers. A near flawless performance. The Saints managed only 79 rushing yards. The Seahawks, while not explosive on the ground, piled up 87 yards at 2.6 yards per carry. Didn't need to manufacture the run when special teams and defense were producing points. New Orleans committed 11 penalties for 77 yards, turned the ball over on downs early, and allowed 2 return touchdowns in short order. Horton's 95-yard punt return and the blocked Saints punt gave the offense short fields and early scores. Despite fewer possessions, Darnold's clean game and willingness to strike downfield kept pressure on the Saints and prevented them from mounting a comeback. The score was ugly, but the Saints did have opportunities, but they did not capitalize on them. This inability to execute was fueled by turnovers and special teams breakdowns, which led to ineffective third down and red zone performance. While Rattler's numbers weren't terrible, the timing of Seattle's scores made their efforts feel reactive rather than competitive. At 2-1, Seattle moves forward with confidence, having snapped a frustrating home-losing trend and done so in convincing fashion. For the Saints, the 0-3 start is a stark reminder that talent alone doesn't equal wins. Discipline, synchronization, and execution fill that gap. The score will draw asterisks in the standings, but its implications run deeper. Seattle found rhythm and dominance. New Orleans uncovered cracks that will require repair.